Hello again. This is going to be the first of a last series of videos for the course. And in this series of videos, first I'm going to make some observations based on having skimmed through, not all, but a fair number of the plans about how certain particular planning steps might have been done better. Secondly, I'm going to talk about how the planning might have been done from Mill, the producer's perspective. Third, I'll talk about how the planning might have been done from Smith, the director's perspective. And finally, I will tell you the story of my favorite negotiation with Professor Schwartzman, which hopefully will also teach you some things that could potentially come up sometime in your negotiating future. All right, so first, with regard to some areas that I thought could be improved for a fair number of you. Obviously not all of these comments pertain to all of you. But the steps I want to focus on are issues, estimating the other side's bottom line and opening position, thinking of potential win-win outcomes, and then determining your opening positions. With regard to the issues step, what I want to talk about here is to try to become more sophisticated in how this is done. I think all of you, understood that it is necessary to be able to identify the different issues that may need to be negotiated. And also, I think it was generally understood that it is necessary to distinguish between essential issues and desirable issues. And that was typically done. But what was very often not done, and which is something that I think we did talk about, that being to try to define the issues favorably to yourself in a way that will have some persuasiveness, or to maybe say it a little bit different way, to try to put the negotiation or a given issue or combination of issues in the negotiation in a favorable context for yourself. Now, just to try to talk for a moment about the idea of defining an issue, this isn't, I'm going to take an example, try to take an example not from negotiating, but from another setting that I think gives you the same kind of idea. If you think about how political candidates in primaries, I'm talking about in particular in primaries, try to convey their message, doesn't it often break down into, or primarily at least break down into one of these messages? I'm the best qualified, or I'm the most experienced, with or without a great, I'm the most qualified with or without a great deal of experience. President Obama was a first-term senator, but he convinced the majority of the country that, not to mention the majority of his party, that he was the best leader. Or I'm the most experienced. Going back an election cycle ago, that was certainly probably Senator McCain's primary message. Or very often these days you get a message of, I'm one of you and I'm going to vote the way you want to make sure your congressman or senator votes on the issues you care about. Now, those are not mutually exclusive messages, but they are different messages. They put a different emphasis on the lead banner, if you will, the lead message for the campaign. And as I say, that's not a negotiating scenario, but I think it is analogous to trying to define the issue or the negotiation that you're talking about. And as I say, that generally wasn't being done in the plans that I've had a chance to look at so far. Let me be more specific with the negotiation, with the movie negotiation that you did. If Mill is able to define the negotiation as Mr. Smith is coming to me because he needs me to make this movie and make this happen, that sets one context. If, on the other hand, Smith is able to define the issue as being, I'm not coming here, Ms. Mill, asking for a job. I'm coming here offering you a terrific opportunity at a partnership. That creates a different context for this negotiation. And if one or the other of them can impose, isn't really the word I'm looking for, but can place that message as the context within which the negotiation is conducted, they have already gained leverage on the other party. They've already made it look, they've already put the emphasis on how valuable they are as opposed to how valuable the other person is, and that ought to help them in the specific negotiating that is then to be done on the terms of the potential contract. Okay. So you may not always be able to do it, but you want to try to favorably define the negotiation as a whole, or potentially a given issue or combination of issues within the negotiation. And that's really kind of taking basic planning to a higher, more sophisticated level. Okay. Then with regard to step 6, which is estimating the other side's opening position and bottom line. So 2 steps, opening position and bottom line. What I want to emphasize here is that many of you should try to be more specific. For example, there were plans which said that anticipate Smith will want more control, Smith will still want salary, or another example was Mill will start with low salary and probably several demands concerning the casting and won't offer final cut. Now, not offering final cut is specific, but just saying Mill, the person with the money, will probably offer a low salary, or Smith, the person who's going to get paid, is going to want a salary and want a higher end of the money. Well, you kind of know that instinctively as what is likely going to happen. That, excuse me, is so general, it does not add a great deal to, to your planning. On the other hand, if you make an effort to think more specifically, how much money is Smith, do you think Smith is going to ask for salary, and if he's going to ask for points also, how many points do you suppose he's going to ask for in combination with X amount of salary? Or with Mill, how much, if you're planning for Smith, how much do you think she's going to start out offering you? You may not be right, but if you're close to being right, it's probably going to really help you react comfortably in a counteroffer. And even if you're not so close to being right, it will probably help you make an adjustment to your plan, and again, be able to more comfortably and hopefully more successfully make a counteroffer. So the message that I'm trying to give you is that if you're overly general about these things, it really is of minimal value. That it's better to try to be somewhat specific, even if you don't hit it exactly, or even if you're off, you can make an easier adjustment if you're specific. And you can do it in terms of, well, about 400,000 or about 300,000, or even from 300,000 to 400,000, if that's as specific as you feel comfortable being. But just purely general, they're going to ask for a lot, they're going to ask for a little, well, that you would have known that without spending any time thinking about it at all, I suspect. Okay? And so that's what I want you in the future to think about a bit more with step 6.